Welcome to the Learn Math Quickly video system. Today we'll be beginning with addition of whole numbers. After that, you can study subtraction, the multiplication tables, multiplication, and division. I call them videos A, B, C, D, and E. When you learn your whole number operations, please continue with fractions, decimals, percent, ratio and proportion, geometry, and algebra. This is a very easy system to use. There's a pretest in the front of each math workbook. In fact, there are two pretests. Take the pretest and then consult the table which is right before the pretest to see which video you need. It'll tell you right on this table. Watch the video and then do the practice lessons in the workbook. For each video lesson, there are 4 practice lessons in the workbooks. Try the first one, that's part 1, and then check your answers at the back of the chapter. If you've done well and you know the work, please continue to the next video lesson. If you need more practice, you can watch the video again and again, and you can do the practice lessons in part 2. And if you'd like even more practice, there's test 1 and test 2. The only video where this is different is the multiplication tables video. That's video C. You'll be doing drills and practices for each times table. Now, there are 21 videos in this series and 5 workbooks. And this workbook, take a look, this workbook goes with videos A, B, C, D, and E. It's called a Basic Math Workbook. This workbook is Workbook 1. It goes with videos 1 through 5, or fractions and word problems. This next workbook, this goes with videos 6 through 8, which is decimals, percent, and ratio and proportion. This purple book, this goes with videos 9 through 12, which is geometry. And this last workbook goes with videos 13 through 16, algebra. Well, before we begin, if the thought of doing math or taking a math test makes you nervous, please read in any of the workbooks pages 2 and 3. It's called Before You Begin. I think it will give you some good hints for what to do about math anxiety or test anxiety. Remember, fear is two-faced. If you have fear of math, fear is two-faced. It can be a bully. It'll beat you up. But if you look it in the eye, it will become a coward and run away. So let's look that math fear in the eye, and let's begin. I want you to take a look in this workbook. This is the Basic Math Workbook. You will see that on page 6, here's page 6, there is a table of numbers. And I want you to take a look at this table. It goes from 1 to 1 trillion. So this is page 6 in the Basic Math Workbook. And here's the list. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and into the teens, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then the 20s and the 30s, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and then we start all over again. 100, 1, 2, 3, and we get to 1,000, and then 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 1 billion, and 1 trillion. And you'll also see on this page that there are the signs for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. If you are unfamiliar with your numbers, please take a look at these. Learn how to say them, learn how to read them, learn how to write them. Know your numbers, because numbers are the building blocks of mathematics. Let's take a look on the board. Here we have a very large number. Can you read it? Let's say you won the lottery and you won this amount of money. Would you be able to read this number? Take a look. Now, this 1 is in the ones column. This is the tens column. This is the hundreds. This is the 4 is in the thousands, the 10,000s, the 100,000s, and this is the millions. Let's do that again. The ones, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, the 10,000s, the 100,000s, and the millions. Could you read this number? Sure you could. If you won this amount in the lottery, you would win $7,654,321. Now note where they put the commas. 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. After every third number, they put a comma. So if you won that amount of money, you'd be a pretty rich person, wouldn't you? Let's take a look at the next number and take a look. Here we have an even larger number. Let's say you won this in the lottery. This is the ones, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, the 10,000s, the 100,000s, the millions, the 10 millions, the 100 millions, and the billions. And how would we read this? 8,234,219,787. It's a lot of money. Okay, let's take a look at a few more numbers on the board. Remember, becoming familiar with numbers is very important. These are the building blocks of mathematics. Here we have 346. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 2,872. 10. Here we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions. 6,666,224. And how about this number? 350,000. And this? 60,001. And here's another large number. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 million, billion. This is 4,200,321,108. So, we've had some experience with numbers. Let's talk about putting numbers together. We're going to talk about addition of numbers. First, I'm going to erase the board, and let's take a look at some of these numbers on the board. Here we have 2 plus 2 is 4. Let's say there are 2 computers in my office, and someone gives me 2 more. How many computers do I have? Well, that's 2 plus 2 makes 4. This is called the addend. This is the addend, and this is the sum or the total. And you can write it out either horizontally or vertically. Now, 2 plus 2 is 4. This is addition. We are taking one thing and another thing, and we're putting them together. We're adding them. Let's say that in your office you have 4 computers, and you decide to add 6 more. How many computers will you have altogether? Well, 4 plus 6 is 10. That's 4. Let's do it like this. 4 plus 6 is 10. So that would make 10 computers total. This is called addition, and I'd like to do some more. Let's take a look on the board. Let's say that we go to the store and we buy 3 apples, and then we decide, I need 5 more. How many apples would I have altogether? Well, I would have 3 plus 5 is 8 apples. 8 apples would be my total. 3 plus 5 is 8. And if you think about it, here we have 3 plus 5, and that makes 8. 8 apples total. Let's try another one. Let's say that we go back to the store and we've had our apples, and now we decide we want some pears. So we buy 6 pears, and then we buy 1 more, and we want to know how many pears do we have altogether. And note that I'm labeling here. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 pairs in total. 7 pairs. So I'm adding. I'm taking one number and another number, and I'm putting it together. Let's do yet another. Let's say that we have 2 papers in my notebook, and somebody gives me 3 more papers. How many papers do I have in total? Well, I have 2 plus 3, or 5 papers. Okay, let's try a few more. Let's say that we have 6 computers in my classroom, and somebody gives me 6 more. How many computers do I have in my classroom? I need to add. I need to add 6 plus 6. I know that 4 plus 6 is 10. Well, 6 plus 6 is 12. That makes 12 computers total. And let's say that in my bookshelf at school, I have 8 books. Well, here we are, 8 books, and one of my students decides to give me 4 more books. How many books will I have altogether? Well, I will have 8 plus 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. That makes 12 books. And what about if in my desk I have 10 pencils? And students always leave pencils around my classroom, and the evening after school, I pick up 5 more pencils. How many pencils will I have all together in my desk? Well, I'll have 15 pencils. 15 pencils. So this is addition. And what I want you to do is I want you to go to the Basic Math Workbook. This is what it looks like. Go to the Basic Math Workbook, and I want you to practice. I want you to go over your numbers, make sure you know how to read them and write them and say them, and spell them. And also, I want you to see pages 7 and 8. That's part 1. And also pages 15 to 16. That's part 2. Check your answers in the back of the chapter, and then come on back for the next part of this video. Welcome back to Video A Addition. Now we are going to be adding larger numbers. Now take a look on the board. Here I'm moving and I have 37 boxes already packed. And then I decide that, oh boy, I need to pack another 32 boxes. How many boxes will I have packed all together? This is an addition problem. I'm taking several items, another several items, and I'm putting them together. That's what we do when we add. We put them all together. And so what am I doing? I'm going to be doing it column by column and step by step. Make sure you keep your numbers in a column. The more that they're in the column, the better. So here we have 7 plus 2. I'm just going to take a look at this first column. And 7 plus 2 is 9. Am I finished the problem? No. I still have to add 3 and 3. And 3 and 3 is 6. So how many boxes will I have all together when I finish packing? Well, I'll have 69 boxes. I'm adding 37 plus 32. I'm taking it column by column and step by step. Let's go on to another problem. And it's always a good idea to remember to label. Here we have 40 jobs. There are 40 jobs in my school district, and they decide to open up 15 more jobs. How many jobs do they have altogether? Well, we're going to take it column by column. So first I'm going to look at my 0 and 5. And 0 and 5 is 5. Am I finished my problem? No. Now I need to add 4 plus 1. And 4 plus 1 is 5. So how many jobs are there in my school district altogether? There are 55 jobs altogether. So this is addition of larger numbers. You have to remember to take it step by step and column by column. Let's do a few more. There are 10 tissues left in the box in the bathroom. And around the house there are 118 tissues in various boxes. How many tissues do we have altogether? We're adding. This is 10 plus 118. What am I going to do? I'm going to add 0 plus 8, the first column first. And 0 plus 8 is 8. And then I'm going to add 1 plus 1, and I get 2. And 1 and nothing is 1. How many tissues do I have altogether? 128 tissues. Remember, I'm keeping them in as much of a line as I can. 128 tissues. Let's try another. Here we have $1,231 in the bank. And we decide to add yet another $2,111. We're adding. What are we going to do? We're going to add it step by step. 1 plus 1 is 2, and I put it in a column. 3 plus 1 is 4. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. And I count to put my commas in. Remember? 1, 2, 3, comma. $3,342 is deposited in the bank altogether. And let's say that in one school district there are 12,023 students. And in several other school districts, when they added up all the students, they got 60,816 students. How many students are there altogether? Column by column, step by step. 6 plus 3 is 9. 2 plus 1 is 3. 0 plus 8 is 8. 2 plus 0 is 2. And 1 plus 6 is 7, remembering to put in the comma. 72,839 students. Now I want you to get some practice in the Learn Math Quickly Basic Math Workbook. I want you to get some practice adding these larger numbers. Remember to go column by column and step by step. Please see pages 9 to 10 is part 1, and pages 17 to 18, that's part 2. Check your answers at the back of the chapter, and then come on back. We're going to be doing some carrying. Welcome back to Video A, Addition. Now we're going to be doing something called carrying. Let's take a look at the problem on the board. We go to the store, we buy 18 oranges, and then we decide that we need 25 more to make that large amount of orange juice that we'd like to make. And we want to know how many oranges do we have all together. Remember, we're doing it column by column and step by step. And first we're going to look at our 8 and 5. And 8 and 5 is 13. So here's my number, it's 13. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put down the 1, the number in the 1's column, that's the 3, and I'm going to carry this 1, which is in the 10's column. So I'm going to put my 3 down here, and the reason I'm doing that is because 2 numbers won't fit into this 1 number space. So what I'm doing is I'm putting down the number in the 1's column, that's the 3, and I'm going to carry the number in the 10's column, and that's the 1. And how do I carry it? Well, I just put it right up here. Some people like to put it here, wherever you like to put it, but you need to put it in this column. You put down the 3 and carry the 1. So 8 and 5 is 13. You put down the 3 and you carry the 1. And now we're going to look at this column. We haven't finished our problem yet. And we're going to add 2 plus 1 is 3, and 1 more, the 1 that we carried, makes 4. So how many oranges do I have altogether? I have 43 oranges. Let's review that one more time. 8 and 5 is 13. I put down my 3. I carry my 1. 2 and 1 is 3, and 1 is 4. 43 oranges. This is called carrying. And let's try it again. Here we have another problem. We have $629 in the bank, and we decide to add $382 more dollars. And we want to know how much money do we have altogether. Take a look. We're going to do it column by column. 9 plus 2 is 11. But I can't put the 11 here. It's only room for 1 number. So I'm going to put down my 1, the number in the 1's column, and that's the 1. And I'm going to carry the 10, the number in the 10's column, and that's a 1. I put down my 1, I carry my 1. Put down my 1, and I carry my 1. Now I'm going to add my next column, and I get 8 and 2 is 10, and 1 is 11. Guess what I'm going to do again? I'm going to put down my 1 and carry my 1. I put down my 1, and I carry my 1. And now I need to add one more time. I say 6 and 3 is 9, and 1 is 10. And I can put both numbers here. There's plenty of room, 1, 2, 3, comma. So the answer is $1,011. Remember, you have to go step by step and column by column. Now, some people say to me, teacher, does it matter if I add 6 and 3 or 3 and 6? It doesn't matter as long as you remember what you added first. Okay, let's go on. Let's do another problem using carrying. Take a look at this problem here. We have 7,896 students in one very large school district, and in another school district there's 8,869 students. How many students are there altogether? This is an addition problem, and we're going to go step by step and column by column. 9 plus 6 is 15. I'm going to put down my 5 and carry the 1. 9 plus 6 is 15, and 1 is 16. I add what I carried. I put down my 6 and carry the 1. 8 plus 8 is 16, and 1 is 17. I put down my 7 and carry the 1. 8 plus 7 is 15, and 1 is 16. So how many students in total? 16,765 students. Let's try another one. Now this problem, there are an awful lot of numbers. Here we are. The ladies are going to bake peach pies. Mrs. Otero needs 32 peaches for her peach pie. Mrs. Newsham needs 46 peaches for her peach pie. Miss Palachi needs 85 peaches for her peach pies. And Mrs. Murphy needs 11 peaches for her peach pie. How many peaches will these women use all together? Well, I know there are a lot of numbers, but you add them the same way, step by step and column by column. Does it matter if you start from the top or the bottom? No, but you have to remember where you started. I'm going to start from the bottom. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. What do? I put down my 4, and I carry my 1. Now I need to add up the numbers in the next column. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. 13 plus 3 is 16, and 1 is 17. How many peaches did these ladies use altogether? Why, they used 174 peaches. Let's try another one with a lot of numbers again. Here we are. We're going to deposit some money in the bank account. We're going to deposit $322. And then the following week, we deposit $123. The next week, we deposit $664. And the last week, we deposit $892. And the question is, how much money did we deposit altogether? This is addition. We're putting all the money together. We want to know how much we have in total. What do? We add step by step and column by column. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. And 9 plus 2 is 11. Two numbers don't fit here, so I put down my 1 and I carry my 1. Let's make that just a little bit bigger. 9 plus 6 is 15, and 2 is 17, and 2 more is 19, and 1 is 20. I put down my 0, and I carry my 2. 8 plus 6 is 14, and 1 is 15. 3 is 18, and 2 more, it's 20. So how much money did I deposit altogether? $2,001. Now sometimes in a problem, and you'll see this sometimes, when you're reading a problem, you'll see that they will give you the numbers horizontally. Let's say Henrietta goes to the bookstores. She's buying books for the local library. So what does she do? In one bookstore, she finds a really good bargain. She buys a book for $3. And then in another bookstore, well, she finds a couple of books for $22. And in the next bookstore, oh boy, does she make a big buy. She buys $3,281 worth of books. And in the last bookstore, she buys $100 worth of books. And the question is, how much money did she spend on books altogether? What am I going to do? Guess what? I'm going to put them in a line because it's easier that way, column by column. So here we go. We have 3 plus 22 plus 3,000. Oops, excuse me, I want to put them in a column. You have to remember to put it in a column, and I had it in the wrong column. Let's take a look. $3,281 and then $100. And the question is, how much money did she spend altogether? And this is an addition problem, and I need to add it column by column. 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 is 6. 8 plus 2 is 10. I put down my 0. I carry my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, and 1 is 4. And 3 and nothing is 3. 1, 2, 3, comma. In total, we have $3,406. Now, many times when it comes to money problems, you'll see a decimal point. So let's take a look at how we add decimal points. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's erase the board. George goes to the supermarket. He spends $3.81. Can you see the decimal? It's like a period, and it goes right down here. $3.81 on fruit. And then he spends $7.36 on vegetables. And then he spends $2.26 or 27 cents on paper plates. How much money did he spend altogether? Well, when dealing with decimal points, it's really important to line them up. That's the trick in adding and subtracting decimals. Put them in a line. Line up the decimal points. And in your answer, the decimal point will fall in the same line. So now let's add. 7 and 6 is 13, and 1 is 14. Put down the 4, carry the 1. 2 plus 3 is 5, and 8 is 13, and 1 is 14. Put down the 4 and carry the 1. 2 and 7 is 9. 9 and 3 is 12, and 1 is 13. How much money did he spend altogether? Why, he spent $13.44. Now, there are many different words that mean to add. Sum, plus, increase, total, gain, altogether, combine. These are words that mean addition. Every time you're taking something, you take something else and you're putting it together, you are adding. What I want you to do is I want you to get lots of practice in addition. So please go to the Basic Math Workbook and do pages 11 to 14, that's part 1, and then pages 19 to 22, that's part 2. Remember to check your answers at the back of the chapter. And then if you need more practice or you'd like more practice, go to test 1, that's page 23, and test 2 is page 24, and check your answers. And then come on back for video B, subtraction.